Ah, the shotgun. The sizzling supply of super speedy shells selectively shot into suspecting survivors of severe suffering. The old school 1-2 punch, the classic combo bombo, the original all reliable. The shotgun. Now let's just jump into it. The shotgun is the Pyro's default secondary. However, I would be remiss to mention that it can of course be wielded by the Soldier, Heavy and Bob the Builder, of which its usefulness varies from class to class. And while I could definitely go in depth into each one, remember, I am a filthy Pyro main, and will be primarily discussing them. So I shan't mention the others, no matter how much you want me to. Oh, alright, I'll go over them real quick. Soldier! Sure, similar to the Pyro, it's good to have a more reliable secondary to get the job done and finish off fools in a pinch. Engineer! Now this is your bread and butter. A real good sandwich, can't go wrong with it. Although some people prefer jam. Heavy. Unlike the Engineer, this is a severely disappointing lack of sandwich, so fix that if you can. Aaron, I need a sandwich. Aaron, please.
What?
I need a sandwich.
Oh no. I don't have it.
Aaron, you've killed us both.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get hit.
Now on to the Pyro! The shotgun, despite being used by 4 classes, has very few variations. The main one you will see is a decorated shotgun, of which I will be primarily using the ones you see on screen, such as my Civic Duty and loads of money! There is also a festive variant that I don't have because I ironically don't have loads of money. So the shotgun! How do it even work? Well, you just kinda, you know, just a bit of, and it's all good. You shoot the guy. It's pretty simple, isn't it? It's not rocket surgery. It's not like the blasted flamethrower that caused me so much strife before, is it? Just aim your fucking reticules and clam the dongus. Clam! But fine. Allow me to explain it further. You really twisted my arm on this, you minx. Alright, to understand the shotgun you gotta understand 2 things. Hit scan and bullet spread. First off, hit scan. If you don't know what that is, allow me to give you a brief explanation. Basically, a hit scan weapon will instantly hit whatever you click on. That is to say, there is no travel time between when you shoot it and when it hits your target. Weapons like the sniper rifle exemplify this, as it is often being compared to a point-and-click adventure game for this reason. And that's basically the difference between regular bullet-based weapons and projectile weapons, where projectile weapons move at a certain speed before they hit their target. Now, what is a projectile in this game? The fuck are you asking that for? This video is about the shotgun, not flipping projectiles. I ain't going over that again. Watch the last episode if you really want to know that. Now the second thing about the shotgun is that it has bullet spread. Now, why is it spreading bullets and not butter? Well, that's because upon each shot it fires not 1 measly little bullet, but 10 shad bullets all at once. However, they don't all shoot down a straight line, rather more of a cone, starting from the barrel of your shotgun onwards, essentially meaning the further away you are from your target, the more the bullet will spread. Now that wasn't clear. To put it simply, if you want to maximize your damage output with this thing, you're better off aiming for targets in close to medium range so you can get as many of those little buggers to hit as possible. But what determines where the spread of the bullets will go? Well, interestingly enough, if you are unaware, if you are playing in a casual setting, the bullet spread will be basically random. Where each of those suckers go is essentially up to Gabe N to decide. However, if you are playing in a competitive setting, the pattern will actually be set to a 3x3 grid, so you can be sure to know where your bullets will hit every time. Now, where did the supposed 10th bullet go in this grid? Beats me, man. I just calls it like I sees it, alright? Now, as for damage, well, let's just say this. In point blank range, you can do a maximum of 90 damage, and at the longest distance, you can do as little as 3 damage. As there is such a thing as damage fall off, where essentially the bullet does less damage the further it travels. Either way, as I said, you want to primarily use this thing in close to medium range, to get as much damage done as possible. Or you can be like me and harass snipers from afar, just to be a little bitch. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, how does it fare on Pyro, and what do I think of it? Well, first thing I gotta mention on Pyro is that, unlike the other 3 classes, it actually increases your firepower. Yeah, I'm not kidding, because you get a dope-ass fireball when you taunt. Get it? Yeah, alright, cool. But additionally, the shotgun is the ultimate finisher-offer. for the pyro. It's common practice to use your flames to do as much initial damage when your target is within your range, and then finish them off with the shotgun as they attempt to crawl away. It sees its main use in that beautiful sweet spot where your target is just beyond your flames and just before the shotgun becomes less viable. I personally think that this window is bigger than it probably is, but I have indeed caught myself a fair few stragglers of this. It's just really nice to have a reliable hit scan weapon by your side that you know you can hit as long as you click on the guy, as opposed to using a flare gun where you actually have to aim. Disclaimer, I love both, I'm not picking sides. Additionally, it has a few unique uses that flare guns aren't as adept as, such as an upper hand in taking down enemy pyros, who of course do not take afterburn, and additionally a reliable tool to whip out in the odd instances you find yourself underwater. Now personally, I love the shotgun. It's easily my second most used secondary, and hopefully you can see why. It is, as they say, all reliable, a weapon you can count on to help you out in a pinch, a weapon that has your back, a reliable hit scan weapon, a plan B. There isn't much bad about it, as it's an all-around great weapon. Now, if you have been on my Discord before, you may have run into Bell, someone who, unlike me, is not too fond of the shotgun and has certainly made that stance clear. So I thought, for the sake of showing all sides of the argument, I would include his reasons as to why he believes the shotgun isn't all it's cracked up to be. Again, I don't personally believe in these points, I just feel it's important to understand all sides of the potential argument and maybe even start a discussion. So allow me to relay Bell's thoughts and points. Anything you can do with a shotgun and pyro can be done better by any other aspect or weapon of pyro, from long or medium range to CQC, which means close quarters combat, to dealing with other pyros or spy checking. Even deterring snipers can all be done in one way or another, which does not require the shotgun. A shotgun is practically meaningless when it comes to pyro. A soldier is given one by default as a secondary to be able to eliminate targets in CQC without running the meaningless risk of self-damage. An engineer is also given one as a default primary to be able to handle targets that their sentry gun is unable to quell. Even a heavy is given it as a secondary, just in case they run out of ammo on their minigun, which then they have a backup available if they are in need to suppress fire. And yet, even then it is overlooked by the sandwich. A pyro, as mentioned earlier, can do anything else a shotgun would be able to do in the aforementioned situations through other weapons. A shotgun may seem statistically better than either the flamethrowers or the flare guns, but the extreme damage fall off from the weapon renders it weak in long and medium ranges, in which the flare guns excel in. Even in CQC, the shotgun can be beaten in damage output by the flamethrowers, and if possible, flare combos combined with W plus M1 can prove far deadlier than the shotgun. So now I'll pass the question off to you. What do you think about the shotgun? Do you think there is merit behind the arguments? Has your mind perhaps changed on the shotgun throughout the course of this video? Yes? No? Let me know. But in the meantime, let's see where the shotgun ranks on my personal list of favourite to least favourite pyro weapons. And where does it weigh in at? Number 4 on the list. Yep, I'm quite fond of the shotgun, and I'm more than happy to have it by my side as not just the pyro, but as any class that can use it. Except for the heavy. Unless he learns to eat it. Anyway guys, that does it for the shotgun. As for the next episode, we will be having a bit of a double feature, as I will be discussing not one, but 2 weapons, as I personally feel I cannot talk about one without the other. And real quick, if you want to help me out with a future video, I would like to try out making a bit of a showcase for TF2 artists and creators. If you have any TF2 art you would like me to showcase, head on over to the Discord and post your art with your name and any social media you would like to be advertised, and it will hopefully appear in a future video. It's all a bit experimental, but head on over to the Discord for more details. But for now, I want to say thank you for Bell for helping me out with this video, and a special thank you to my Patreons for sticking with me. And that does it for now. I have been Ihasnotomato. Remember to wax and clean your stripper pole on a regular basis, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.